The challenges we have seen in opposition, because I'm whipping 6 parties on this side of the aisle. The challenge has been the Museveni subterranean methods of using the divide and rule tactics, and they have succeeded in dividing opposition. You realize that a good chunk of our membership has already been swallowed by his cunning tricks. We have, for instance, I don't want to mention, but of course when recently Mao, but even I don't want to go there. But given that he's a Minister of Constitutional Affairs, Justice and Constitutional Affairs, who was earlier at the inception of his marriage, and holy marriage with NRM, he had vowed to ensure that a Constitutional Review Commission would be constituted to chart a way forward on a transition, and also how Uganda would for once get an opportunity of transferring power peacefully, smoothly, from one government to another, because Uganda has never seen that. But you can see that even that party with its leadership has been swallowed. So the system swallowing is employing the properties and tactics of a python. Soft, elastic, swallowing even those that are bigger. So we lost almost UPC, almost DP. Now part of NOP is also aware, and the rifts are still emerging. You can see even FDC, the rifts have culminated into other parties emerging. So it has been a very difficult moment for a holder of my office to exercise a whipping control on this membership that is paying allegiance elsewhere, not necessarily to opposition politics.
Okay. So yes. What was your toughest moment in your whipping?
Well, the toughest moment is when I saw in my own party cracks emerging, and eventually a rift culminating into another party. It was a very difficult moment, because I remember being at the center of ensuring an amicable resolution of the matter that had emerged. But of course, eventually what happened has happened, and this we leave it to God.
What made it so difficult for you to broker that bridge?
Well, certain things we don't want to mention them in the open, but the truth of the matter is that by the time I intervened, damage had already been done. So it became very difficult for me, for my intervention, to yield any positive results.
How is it to whip an MP?
Oh, it's very difficult, extremely difficult, and almost next to impossibility, because in our rules, incidentally, we do not have sanctions against an errant member who chooses not to comply with the party position. Because when you are whipping, for instance, for due attendance in the committees, including plenary, you will find some members who come to sign and go, or even who don't come at all. But then you have to plead with them just because they are colleagues. A member you are pleading with may have come here with even more votes 3 times than you. So these are colleagues you have to handle with care. And it becomes again extremely difficult when it is voting, because again the role of one fundamental role of a whip is to ensure that you whip your opposition members as chief opposition whip to vote with the opposition position. But the position you take as leadership may not be agreeable to UPC, to DP, to Chema, to what, and it becomes extremely difficult also, because there are no sanctions you will enforce against a defiant member. So those are some of the extremely difficult moments. But given my mature approach to the way I exercise control on members, you realize I've not had a hitch. you would have already seen it in the open. But I have done this with all manner of maturity and credibility, given that I'm a man who has the software of leadership, and that is integrity. Once you have integrity, there is a sense in which you will flow very well with these members. Short of it, you will clash. By the way, I feel so bad that one of our own and my close friend, Dr. Kagabo, eventually left. But I blame it on ourselves for poor handling. We handled him recklessly, because he's one of the few that offered to tell the truth. Many of the colleagues have very surreptitious, those underhand methods of dealing with the other side, the ruling party. Even when they have picked the money, they will not come out in the open. Or they will not even be cooperative to let you know that surely it has happened, until you get it from the grapevine. And when it happened with the Kagabo, the challenge is that even our own leadership chose to set him up. And I didn't like that. And that is how we have lost him. And the truth of the matter is, when it comes to money, and now that most of the meetings of the caucuses of NRM are transactional, the ears of opposition are always on the ground. What have they bargained for this time round? If they have bargained for 200 million or 100 million, then there must be some crumbs or droppings under the table for members of my side. And when they pick it, you see the Bible has come out, actually, bare knuckles on money. It says money is the root of all evils, because it's very attractive. People can worship others for money, and people can kill for money. So if you go harass a member who has eaten, then you must be headed for serious trouble. You must know how to go about such a one. And so those are some of the very difficult moments. And by the way, it is one of the factors President Museveni has succeeded in implementing his vow. He made a vow way back in 2020 when he said that by 2020, I should have finished opposition. Now the weapon he has used, he has weaponized money. He has used money and he has amassed money like rubbish. In fact, he has money like rubbish. So when he uses and dangles it out, it is very tempting. Extremely tempting, like the fruit in the Garden of Eden. So some members, you'll blame them, but they find themselves with financial constraints. And when an amount from out of the blues coming like a manna, it will cover around you like a temptation, and eventually many have fallen. And so when you see a few of us who have remained standing, and whose track record you know, I turned out to huge sum of money during the controversial remove of age limits. And now many of these who give out money, they even fear Nambeshe, they know, that one. If he turned down a billion, how about this? So sometimes it is character with the very stubborn principles that you must espouse in order to escape some of this these sweeteners, this very...
I think an exciting timeline is which we can check, which is Thursday next week. No, the minister is upright. No, the minister is the one engaging. We don't know what they've discussed in the room. Okay?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I have a concern.
To observe proceedings of this House, please join me in welcoming them. You can stand up. Thank you. Colleagues, also we have in the public gallery this afternoon, they are represented in Parliament by Honourable Bakireke Bet Nambeshe and Honourable Nabukera Hanifa Hussein. They've come to observe proceedings of this House. Please join me. Honourable Emmanuel might have studied from that school, so that I can see how excited he is. Honourable colleagues, they are registered with me, So I didn't. No. Yeah. Next item.
The Land Annual Nominal Ground Rent Amendment Regulations 2025.
Minister for Lands.
Million